Welcome to the news here on IETV and to our viewers on IETVTT.com. I am Micah Dume. Thanks for joining us. In the headlines, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar announces $154.8 million interim dividend from NGC, calls it major economic boost. President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Irfan Ali, urges region to maximize energy opportunities as Trinidad and Tobago Business Outlook meeting. A Sandy Grande man, Deshaun Henry, found shot dead. Police investigating roadside killing. In our top story, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has announced a special interim dividend of $154.8 million from Trinidad and Tobago NGL Limited, describing it as a significant boost to the economy and a win for more than 11,500 shareholders. Speaking in Parliament, she said the dividend follows a strong recovery in share value under the current board and marks the first payout in nearly 4 years. Shareholders have also been given the option to receive payments in US dollars.
I'm very happy to make this announcement today on the declaration of a special interim dividend of TT $154.8 million into the economy of Trinidad and Tobago, a TT-NGL dividend. In my first term as Prime Minister, my government made the decision to offer the public an opportunity to make an investment in one of the most strategic companies in our energy sector. We did this by way of an IPO, whereby citizens were allowed to purchase shares in Trinidad and Tobago NGL Limited. That's one of our first term. We offered the public the opportunity to invest by way of an IPO in TT-NGL, and that sector of Phoenix Park Gas Processors Limited. Trinidad and Tobago NGL Limited is a holding company that holds 39% of the shares of Phoenix Park Gas Processors Limited. TT-NGL is owned 75% by the public and 25% by the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited.
The Prime Minister also revealed that the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago recorded an after-tax profit of $3.285 billion for the year ending December 31st, 2025. She noted that this represents the highest profit recorded by the NGC Group in the past 11 years, highlighting a strong financial performance within the energy sector.
I feel very privileged and very happy today to stand here to make a very important announcement which should ring out very loud to every citizen of our beloved country. The NGC, the National Gas Company, is one of the crown jewels of our country. It is the most important of our state enterprises and the foundation of our economic survival and development. I have been provided with a copy of the unaudited financial statements of the National Gas Company of Trinidad for the year ended, calendar year ended 2025. And so it is a great sense of pride and a sense of accomplishment that I announce today that the National Gas Company has reported a profit after tax for the year ended 31st December 2025 of $3.285 billion.
President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Irfan Ali, says the region must take a closer look at the opportunities energy provides. Speaking at the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce annual business meeting and outlook on Friday, he called for more strategic investment to maximize the use of the region's natural resources. President Ali also highlighted the strong relationship between Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago, reaffirming a commitment to continued cooperation between the two countries.
And Tobago started a long time ago, from the simple Sampat family, taking Guyanese wood, adding value to it here, and then re-exporting it throughout the Caribbean, to the simple trader coming to Guyana to buy shark fin, to bring here and package and resell, the trader finding a market for Bangameri, coming to Guyana and get it, and the simple men and women from Guyana coming during a difficult time in our history to do what you would remember as a suitcase trade, buying simple things as flour and bread and taking back to our country. So there is absolutely no doubt that our partnership is rooted in history, in culture, shared difficulties and challenges, and can also be rooted in the future in shared prosperity.
Police are investigating a killing in Sandy Grande after a man was found with gunshot wounds along a roadway on Monday night. The deceased has been identified as Deshaun Henry of Matura. Reports indicate that shortly after 9:50 p.m. on April 6th, a man went to the Sandy Grande police station to report a disturbing discovery. He told officers that earlier in the evening, while returning home, he noticed an object along the roadway but continued on. Moments later, he returned with a flashlight to investigate and discovered a man lying motionless in a pool of blood. Police officers accompanied the informant back to the scene, where they found Henry lying on the northern side of the roadway with apparent gunshot wounds to the head. Crime scene investigators processed the area and collected items of evidential value. A district medical officer later visited the scene and pronounced the victim dead, ordering the removal of the body pending a post-mortem examination at the Forensic Science Center. Police say investigations are ongoing. We pause for a moment. More news when we come back.
Perfection doesn't happen by chance. Like an artist, the cook selects the main ingredient, one that is worthy of a proud cultural tradition. Trusted to enhance your creations with its richness and versatility. To create a cooking masterpiece, the secret is simple. The brand we know, the brand we trust, the brand our ancestors have been using for generations.
There is only one pure cow brand ghee. Look for the marks of authenticity.
Tile Expressions Limited, as one of the largest importers of tiles, offers an extensive range of high-quality tiles in ceramic, porcelain, granite, stone, and mosaic options. Additionally, we offer a variety of tile accessories and bathroom sets to complement any decor style. We are committed to providing exceptional customer service and swift delivery of all products. From indoor and outdoor tiles to bathroom sets and tile accessories, we have curated a range that caters to both traditional and modern taste. Lampus 13, Ajudha Road, Munro Road, Canopio. Call 223-8453.
Welcome back. Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo says there is no health crisis in Trinidad and Tobago despite a nurses' march in Port of Spain on Friday over salary concerns. The minister emphasized that the health sector continues to function effectively, providing care and services to thousands of citizens daily.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to assure the population that there is no health crisis in our country at this time. Mr. Speaker, under this government, the healthcare system continues to provide services to thousands of patients on a daily basis. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our healthcare workers at the RHAs and the Ministry of Health who continue to work diligently on a daily basis to serve the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Khadija Amin says no request was made for funding to support upcoming celebrations. Speaking at a sitting of the House of Representatives, she stated that the Ministry of Culture and Community Development, along with private sponsors, will cover aspects of the events to address any financial shortfall. The minister also revealed that during a meeting with all 14 municipalities on Wednesday, representatives from the Point Fortin Borough Corporation instead requested financial assistance to address outstanding obligation. These include pensions and gratuities as well as arrears owed to the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission over the past 3 years.
Mr. Speaker, in spite of what those on the other side would want the public to believe, Point Fortin Borough Day celebrations is on. We are working with private sponsors together with the Point Fortin community and Point Fortin. All our budget days, Borough Day celebrations are on. The Ministry of Culture, via the Best Village Office, is collaborating to deal with some of the events on the borough calendar. And of course, members of the public from throughout Trinidad are free to come to Point Fortin, to go to Point Fortin. As a matter of fact, as we speak, the Member of Parliament for Point Fortin, MP Kiza, is on his way from a launch in Point Fortin. There will be an official meeting between the Mayor and the Member of Parliament for Point Fortin to be held tomorrow, Saturday, at 9:30 a.m. because they have an entire calendar of events, which time would not permit me to call out today, that they will be collaborating on as they go forward.
Police have confirmed that a woman found dead along the North Coast Road was beaten to death and her body dumped at the location. The victim, identified as Onika Locario of Diego Martin, was discovered on April 1st near an Angru shop along the Maracas stretch of the roadway. Officers responded to reports of a body lying in the area around 10:44 p.m. She was found dressed in a black skirt, brown cardigan and cream-colored Crocs with a tattoo on her left forearm. Police noted that she was not wearing underwear at the time. Initial observations suggested she was foaming from the mouth and nose, with no obvious external injuries visible at the scene. Her body was subsequently removed for further examination. An autopsy conducted on April 8th at the Forensic Science Center confirmed that Locario died from blunt force trauma to the head, indicating she had been beaten. Investigators believe she may have been attacked by someone known to her at another location before her body was transported and dumped along the roadway. Police say investigations are ongoing as they continue to work to determine the full circumstances surrounding the killing. Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Sean Sobers says the diplomatic relationship between Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela is improving steadily. Speaking at Thursday's post-cabinet media briefing, he noted that ties between the two countries are getting better day by day as efforts continue to strengthen cooperation. His comments follow an announcement by Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar that a Trinidad and Tobago delegation is expected to travel to Venezuela as part of ongoing efforts to advance the country's energy interests and protect its economic security. Responding to questions from the media, Minister Sobers confirmed that preparations for the potential visit are progressing. Trinidad and Tobago has maintained that it is committed to constructive and respectful relations with Venezuela, with ongoing diplomatic engagement seen as key to regional stability and cooperation.
Contact with officials from Venezuela almost on a weekly basis. In terms of the cohort of the group of persons that would be going across there, that is under review as to what that team and composition would look like. And as soon as that has been nailed out, we would reveal the same to the public.
You're watching IETV News. We'll return after these messages.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Are you renewing your motor, homeowner or business insurances shortly? Then call Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, for a competitive quote. With 2 locations, Todd Street, El Socorro and 5 Rivers, Aruca. Please call us at 221-5051 or 227-5051. Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, building relationships exceeding expectations.
Welcome back. Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Philip Edward Alexander, is calling for greater national dialogue and action to address sexual abuse and violence in Trinidad and Tobago. Speaking during a sexual abuse forum at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, he emphasized the need for continued conversations and meaningful steps to protect victims.
As an activist, I speak as a man, I speak as a minister, I speak as a father. I have 2 daughters. And I want a world where my daughters are safe no matter where they go.
The minister says societal norms must be re-evaluated to better understand the influences shaping men in Trinidad and Tobago. He notes that issues surrounding sexual abuse and violence must be openly confronted and unmasked as part of a broader effort to create a safer environment for victims.
We have a hypersexualized society. We have to face that reality. And a lot of men, young men, are forced, believe it or not, to act in ways that contradict their own good nature to fit in with other men who are themselves confused and acting against their nature. So we need to unmask all of it.
Let's now take a look at some international news.
The White House says the, quote, fragile ceasefire with Iran is holding, but tonight President Trump's key condition remains unmet, Iran refusing to reopen traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. Still, Vice President J.D. Vance, who is now leading negotiations, insists, quote, fundamentally, we're in a good spot.
No ceasefire ever goes without a little bit of choppiness.
Iran says it will not reopen the strait because they say the U.S. has gone back on what they claim was a key element of the truce, that Israel would stop bombarding Iranian-backed Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. Today, Israel unleashing a sprawling barrage of more than 100 attacks on the Lebanese capital Beirut, the most since the war began, killing at least 180 people, more than 1.2 million people displaced in the conflict. Iran's foreign minister declaring the world sees the massacres in Lebanon. The ball is in the U.S. court, and the world is watching whether it will act on its commitments. But Vance today saying Lebanon was never part of the ceasefire deal.
I think this comes from a legitimate misunderstanding. I think the Iranians thought that the ceasefire included Lebanon, and it just didn't. We never made that promise. We never indicated that was going to be the case.
One thing is clear, Iran still controls the strait. Before the war, ships could pass through free of charge. But President Trump now telling our John Carl the U.S. and Iran could work together one day to collect tolls, saying we're thinking of doing it as a joint venture. Any arrangement like that seems a long way off. And tonight the strait remains closed. The national average price for a gallon of gas now at $4.16, up $1.22 since the war began. Economists say it could take months to fall once the strait reopens. Today, the administration also pressed to explain the president's plan for halting Iran's nuclear program and moving their more than 900 pounds of enriched uranium out of the country.
They will either give it to us, which the president has laid out. They'll give it to us voluntarily. We'll get it. We'll take it out. Or if we have to do something else ourselves, like we did in Midnight Hammer or something like that, we reserve that opportunity.
Coming out, Judge. Tonight, with the families of his victims in the courtroom and his ex-wife of 27 years and daughter watching, Rex Heuermann leaving no doubt he is the Gilgo Beach serial killer who terrorized neighborhoods outside New York City.
We feel it's in your best interest to plead guilty rather than go to trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
The suburban dad who worked as an architect on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan.
I'm an architectural consultant.
Admitting he lived a double life, pleading guilty to murdering 8 women and burying their bodies on Long Island, some found dismembered and wrapped in burlap near the beach. Heuermann strangled his victims, who he hired as escorts in a nearly 2-decade killing spree starting in 1993.
This defendant walked among us, play acting as a normal suburban dad, when in reality, all along, he was obsessively targeting innocent women for death.
Heuermann was finally tracked down and arrested in 2023 after his DNA was retrieved from pizza crust in the trash outside his office and linked to hair samples found on the victims. Detectives scouring Heuermann's home and a storage unit, amassing a mountain of evidence, including a chilling collection of news articles about the murders and what prosecutors called his blueprint, with locations of dump sites and reminders to dispose of tools and devices and burn gloves. Today outside court, the woman married to him for nearly 3 decades. She says she never wanted to believe it was true.
My thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. Their loss is immeasurable, and the focus should be on them at this time and moment.
The families of victims never gave up hope the killer would be caught. Missy Khan, whose sister Maureen was killed in 2007, with this message to her today.
I would never stop searching for justice for you. Through every year, every setback, every unanswered question, I carried you with me, and I kept that promise. And today, it has been done.
When we return, your weather update and more. Stay tuned.
In our lives, there are moments that need to be remembered. Are you hosting a Ramayana Yagya, religious or cultural event or celebration? Would you like to have it aired live on IETV or recorded for playback later? We will air your program on IETV and IE Radio, with your viewers joining locally and internationally. Your family and friends worldwide can view on www.ietvtt.com or listen on ieradiott.com. To make arrangements, call or WhatsApp IETV at 784-9880. Let us record your cherished moments and share it.
Who doesn't love a good story? Science is no different. Breakthroughs in medicine, technology, or astronomy didn't just happen overnight. It's stories of lucky breaks, hardships, biases, serendipity, and tragedies. Even stories that make you laugh. There were battles of ideas, sometimes lasting hundreds of years and even thousands, until we got it just right. So sit back and relax, grab that cup of tea, and join me as we explore stories from science.
Welcome back to IETV's Major News. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast. Today was generally partly cloudy to sunny across Trinidad and Tobago, with warm and humid conditions prevailing throughout the day. During the afternoon, there were periods of increased cloudiness which brought isolated to scattered showers mainly across central, eastern and southern districts, while other areas remained mostly fair. Daytime temperatures reached around 32 to 33 degrees in Trinidad and near 31 in Tobago. Winds were light to moderate from the east at 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. Sea conditions were slight to moderate, with waves between 1.0 and 1.5 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sea levels remained within normal limits. Tonight is expected to be partly cloudy with a few brief showers, particularly during the late evening and early morning hours. Conditions will remain warm and humid, with overnight temperatures settling around 24 to 25 degrees Celsius. Winds will remain light to moderate from the east, while seas will continue slight to moderate, with waves near 1.0 to 1.5 meters. Sea levels are expected to remain normal, though slightly choppy conditions are possible in open waters. For Saturday, expect partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy skies, with isolated to scattered showers developing during the afternoon, especially across central and southern Trinidad, while Tobago and northern areas should remain mostly fair. Temperatures are forecast to reach around 32 degrees in Trinidad and near 31 in Tobago, with humid conditions continuing. Winds will be east to east northeasterly at 15 to 20 kilometers per hour, and seas will remain slight to moderate, with waves up to 1.5 meters in open waters and around 1 meter in sheltered areas, while sea levels remain within the normal range. Let's take a look at some crime news. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service continues its intensified anti-crime efforts under ongoing state of emergency operations, with a series of coordinated exercises conducted across the Southwestern Division between April 5th and April 6th. During an operation in the Urupush district around 1 a.m. on April 6th, officers executed a search at a residence in Rosalac under the emergency powers regulations. 7 12-gauge cartridges were discovered concealed in a bedroom. A 52-year-old male laborer and a 29-year-old female were arrested on suspicion of possession of ammunition. Both individuals remain in police custody pending further inquiries in a separate intelligence-led exercise conducted in La Brea. Around 4:50 a.m. on April 5th, officers searched a premises in Sobo Village where 5 rounds of .45 ammunition were found. 4 men ages 21 to 23 were arrested in connection with the find. The suspects are to be charged for possession of ammunition. Additional operations conducted in Urupush, Faizabad, Penal and Superior resulted in multiple searches of homes, road traffic exercises and stop and search activities. A number of traffic violations were also detected and tickets issued accordingly. In separate developments, police have laid charges against 2 suspects in connection with a firearm and ammunition discovery in Point Fortin on February 28th. A 22-year-old male and 17-year-old female are expected to appear before the South Criminal Court on April 8th. Additionally, the 22-year-old male has been further charged in relation to a home invasion incident that occurred on February 22nd, 2026, which includes multiple serious offenses such as robbery with violence, possession of firearm and ammunition, and shooting with intent. 11 individuals have been charged following their interception by the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard off the Erin coast on April 3rd. The group was detained during a coordinated maritime operation and subsequently handed over to police. Following investigations and legal guidance, charges have been laid for immigration-related offences. The suspects, ages 19 to 44, 8 males and 3 females, are allegedly Venezuelans. 9 are being charged with illegal entry and 2 are being charged with illegal entry and aiding and abetting. All 11 individuals are expected to appear before the court to answer to the charges. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service continues to work closely with the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard and other stakeholders to secure the nation's borders and address illegal entry into the country. The public is reminded that assisting or facilitating illegal entry into Trinidad and Tobago is a serious offence, and persons found engaging in such activities will be dealt with in accordance with the law. Recapping the headlines, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar announces 154.8 million interim dividend from NGC, calls it major economic boost. President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Irfan Ali, urges region to maximize energy opportunities as Trinidad and Tobago Business Outlook meeting. A Sandy Grande man, Deshaun Henry, found shot dead. Police investigating roadside killing. Well, this is where we leave you for now. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Micah Dumais. Thank you for joining us.